Recently, I was on YouTube and the AI, it threw me a curveball. It suggested me a Tom Scott video from 2014, this one to be precise. And I thought, he's predicting 2030. I'm in 2025 now. What of this is true and what of it hasn't come true and isn't going to come true? So I thought we'd dive into this video, see what he's predicting and what it means for now and the future.
You don't really notice change happening.
A lot of it is shockingly accurate. He has predicted some things down to a T, and I never would have guessed it.
2030. And it would start a little bit something like this. Teenagers are becoming telepathic. Privacy is dead. And we're in another tech bubble.
The telepathic part, well, he's slightly wrong with this one. They're not quite telepathic, but we are more connected than ever, especially teenagers. With AI, group chats, and voice messaging, they're constantly talking to people and they're vlogging their lives on their mobile phones and whatever. We are more connected than ever. AI summaries, they're catching you up on things that you've missed in real time, lightning fast. Privacy, it's kind of dead if you think about it. A lot of people out there still regard their privacy, but most, they've traded in their privacy for convenience, speed, and efficiency. And the bubble, well, he's going to talk a lot about a bubble, and I think we'll have to get onto that. But it is looking shockingly like today's AI bubble.
If you wanted to go out with your friends to a restaurant, you wanted to find somewhere, you would have to open one app to find a restaurant, and then you would open a second app to see if it was any good and to see if it met your dietary requirements and your budget, and then you would open a third app to see if there was a table. I mean, more than that, you might actually have to use an old school web page if anyone remembers those.
That's exactly what we've solved, not just with search engines. If you ask these days Gemini or Google or ChatGPT to find you that vegan restaurant for under 20 quid, it can find you that restaurant with the table, the menu and the booking link super quickly, all in one place, and tell you whether it'll meet your requirements and everything that you need. One
of the key points about engines is that the more open you are, the more information you give them, then the better they are. That's why those of us who remember privacy don't really get as much out of them.
Tom imagines this revolutionary engine that's revolutionizing everyday life. And with that today, it's got to be AI. And I think he's quite right about how he's described it. But that's the business model today in 2025, if you've thought about it with AI. Hand it your calendar, your emails, your whatever else, all this personal data, and you can get hyper-personalized, perfectly accurate results. But of course, you're sending all of this stuff to companies that are just tracking you, collecting it and selling it to advertisers.
Well, I'm offline right now at a conference, but as soon as I walk off and put my earbud back in, then my engine will start catching me up at 800 words a minute.
This is the TikTok For You page. Think about it. You've opened your phone up, you get this For You page with all these videos that you watch that feed you information, hyper-personalized to you, catching you up on what you're interested in the world. The only difference is it's not quite at 800 words per minute, like he says. Well, at least not yet, that might come.
All the implicit associations, all the hidden biases that study after study after study after study have shown are in everyone's heads, they get picked up by engines.
I think this one he is dead on with. It's shocking today how accurate he is with this. AI has picked up on the stereotypes and the biases that we have sent it in its training data. Hiring models, they have bias towards certain people. There's loads of problems with facial recognition technology and different people, all because it learnt from humans' imperfect data. There is a lot of work going into trying to solve that, at least now with GPT-5, but all that turns into is a bland model that doesn't really have any personality.
No one has time to watch lots of people's entire lives, so you still needed an editor to package up the highlights, tell a story, work out the details, and put it together for consumption. Well, engines can do that. Powered by measuring attention responses, constant automated A/B testing, and all its successors. They can do that. They did it.
Well, this is influencer culture to a T. Niche YouTubers, Twitch streamers, TikTok creators, they all have their own audiences, hyper-focused on sponsorship deals and sometimes bigger than traditional TV. Think of all the people on YouTube, maybe like Mr. Beast. He makes videos that do millions of views. They're way more entertaining than anything you watch on TV. Yet it wouldn't work on TV. You would not get a TV company sponsoring that.
There was just enough complacency, just enough thought of stability as they came out of a recession that they'd gone and got themselves into another bubble. Apps, this time. Smartphone apps. Previously, back then, it was the dot-com bubble, but now, apps. That's exactly what's going on now. Engines, the engine I use, the engine those muttering teenagers use, has just been bought for $20 billion. It'll last, what, a couple of years?
Somehow in 2014, he saw a massive tech bubble coming. There were apps, there was the dot-com boom, but now in 2025, it's the AI bubble. The AI industry is getting billions poured into it, and well, valuations, they're sky high, absolutely through the roof. But not all of these will survive. But like the app and the dot-com bubble before, AI, well, it's not going anywhere. It's here to stay, and it feels more normal now than ever. There were quite a lot of things that he got wrong in this video, such as being able to access military drones and some of the other stuff like that. And well, I don't think that really matters. He got the majority of what he's saying right. Some of this, it might come in the future, though some of it, I think, is a bit too dystopian. So my closing thoughts, was Tom Scott right? On the big tech trends, obviously, he was bang on, absolutely perfect. Never would have guessed it. If anything, his 2030 predictions, they were not quite ambitious enough. It's now 2025 and most of these have come true. Privacy is dead. We are all vlogging our lives on TikTok, Instagram and whatever social media app that you want to use. We're all constantly connected to the world around us. And well, the pandemic, it massively fueled that. And well, if that's the case, then the next 20 years might be even wilder than we think. Think of the advancements in technology from this point on. Do what Tom Scott does in that video at the start. Go watch it. He explains how he's going to move forward and tell you about the future. And if that's the case, think about the next 20 years. What is going to happen? What is coming that's going to change the world? My guess and my bet from today, count me on it, in 20 years, 15 years, whatever it might be, is going to be robotics. With the rise of AI and how smart it's getting, how good it's getting at doing some of these more complicated tasks, I think that robotics are going to take off and we're going to have these machines that can run entirely on AI. I think autonomous cars, they are coming. They're making massive leaps and bounds in the tech industry over in the US, California, Texas, all of that sort of places. So I think it's only a matter of time till they become mainstream. Other than that, I'm not really sure what is coming because today it probably doesn't even exist. The next revolutionary tech of the future does not exist today. Keep that in mind when you're using AI. I thought this was a bit of a different video. I thought it was fun to look at what Tom Scott's predictions were. But I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.